When I first started lifting, I would exercise 6 times a week, pushing hard, doing everything I thought was right. And then I started making progress in the beginning. I was getting stronger. But then after a couple of months, I noticed something. No matter how hard I trained, my strength just stayed the same. The weights weren't going up, my muscles weren't growing, and it felt frustrating. Then I learned something that changed that forever. It's a simple rule that separates the people that train hard and the people that actually build muscle. In this video, I'll break down exactly how to use progressive overload as a beginner, how to increase your sets, reps, and weights, how to track your workouts properly, and how to apply all of this without burning out. Once you get all of this right, your workouts won't feel random anymore, and you'll finally see the progress that you have been longing for. Let's be real. When you started, you were excited, you were motivated to go to the gym. You go to the gym, you lift hard, you even eat right. But then after 2 months, 3 months, you notice something. You don't get stronger anymore. You stay with the same weight. And that's the thing. Lifting alone isn't enough. Doing the same weight, same reps every week. That's how you reach your plateau. Your body needs progressive stress to adapt. And when you don't give it a reason to adapt and get stronger, it simply won't. It simply won't grow bigger and stronger. And beginners often make this one big mistake. They either increase the weight too fast and run the risk of injury, or they stick with the same weight and don't get stronger in the first place. So step 1 is understanding progressive overload. Progressive overload is simply increasing the intensity of your workouts over time. That can be in multiple forms. You can increase your weight, can increase the reps, can increase your sets, you can decrease your resting time. It's simply increasing your intensity of your workouts. The key is to start small and consistent. If you rush for a big number or big amount, your body can't handle that stress at that specific time. So for example, if you're doing bench press, 3 sets of 6, your last set should be close to failure. If it's not close to failure, that is simply not the right weight for you. Try and make your last set close to failure. Step 2 is increasing your reps before your weight. Here's a method that helped me and it's quite simple. So for example, on Monday, I'm doing bench press for 3 sets of 6. I can't, literally on my last set, I can't do another one. On the Friday, I will try and push for one more rep on my last set. If I can't do it, I stick with 6 reps. But if I can, the next Monday, I try and do all my sets for 7 reps. And then you repeat this process until you reach to 10 reps on your last set. And it's clean reps, not ego lifting. Make sure that it's clean reps. When you can do 10 reps on your last set, that's when you increase your weight by 2.5 or 5 kg. This could easily take a month to do this whole process. But trust me, it actually works. This steady, consistent, small progress prevents burnout and prevents injury and actually makes your progress more achievable. Step 3 is track everything. If you don't track your previous sessions, on your next session, you won't know where to start because you don't know what you did last time. So for me, I use an app called Strong. What this app does is it tracks your sets, your workout routine, your reps you do for that, the weight you do for that, your rest time. It tracks literally everything. So when I come to my next session, I know what I did previously, so I can actually implement progressive overload effectively. I'm not just playing a guessing game. Oh, I did 6 reps. Oh no, did I do 5? But then you start guessing. That's not the game you want to play. You have to know what you did so that you can actually improve effectively. And this is where most beginners fail. They don't track what they did last time. So in the next session, they either go too high or too low. And that can stunt your progress. So make sure to track your workouts and track your progress religiously. It only takes 2 or 5 minutes or even 10 minutes, but that literally saves months of progress. And step 4 is apply progressive overload to your weak points. My weak point used to be my legs. I didn't like to train legs. I was training full body 3 times a week, but my legs weren't growing. Why? Because I didn't apply progressive overload effectively. Once I started applying progressive overload on my weak spot, that's when I finally saw progress in my legs. So your weak spot might be your lats, your shoulders. Apply progressive overload on this area and you will start to actually get stronger in this weak spot. And make sure to do this consistently. Once consistency is in the picture, progress is in the picture as well. And step 5 is don't rush it. Progressive overload is all about slow and intentional work. It's a slow process, but it's a necessary slow process. Your body can't magically add 10 kg to your bench press every single week. That's how you actually get yourself injured. And that's not what we want. You have to apply progressive overload. A realistic way of doing that is first increasing your reps and then afterwards increasing your weight. You know that saying, slow and steady wins the race. But in this case, slow and steady gets the gains. Even adding 2.5 kg every month, that's massive progress over time. And step 6 is use form as your guide. Never ego lift. That is one of the worst things you can do. If your form isn't right, decrease the weight. Don't ego lift because you can actually injure yourself. That's not what progressive overload is. Progressive overload is about quality reps under tension. If your 10th rep is sloppy, stop there. Don't push for an 11th rep. Actually focus on having that 10th rep on the correct form. When you have your 10th rep on the correct form, that's when you can increase your weight. Focus on controlled and full range reps. That will give you long-term results. Common mistakes that most beginners make is adding too much weight too fast. That's the first one. The second one is not tracking their workouts or their exercises properly. And with that, you don't know what you did on your previous workout, and that stunts your progress. Thirdly is ignoring failure sets. You don't push yourself to failure. You don't make your muscle actually do the work. When you ignore failure reps, you aren't challenging your muscles and you aren't giving them the opportunity to actually grow. And the fourth mistake is skipping legs or weak muscle work. You don't focus on your weak spots. You don't train your legs, and that results in your physique not looking balanced. You start having a big upper body with skinny stick legs. But I was also there. At least my legs weren't just sticks, but my upper body was bigger than my legs. When I applied progressive overload on my legs, I saw the progress. It's the small, consistent work that actually starts to add up. So remember, this is not a fast game. It's a slow and steady game. Slow and steady wins the games. Some days your lifts might feel heavy. That's okay. Some days it will feel light, and that's also okay. You're not doing anything wrong. You're following the system correctly. Just make sure to stick with progressive overload. Track your workouts. Hit failure. Increase your weights and your sets slowly. That's how you apply progressive overload effectively. So make sure to push through your limits safely and just trust the process. Remember, you become the person you want to be by pushing through the times you want to quit.